Good evening, everybody, and a happy Saturday. I hope that you are all doing well. My name is Jessica Lynn, and I am the owner and artist of JessicaLynnOriginal.com. And I am also the person behind the card. So I am so happy that you are here today. We are going to be bringing on a guest that I cannot wait for you to meet. Her and I had a conversation last night. It ended up, we originally were going to talk for about half an hour. Next thing I knew, it turned into 2 hours. We had so much to say. It was so much fun. And I cannot wait for you guys to get to know her a little bit better. I'll tell you, after my conversation last night, it truly felt, again, this community is amazing. That's all I can say. It's just such a wonderful group of people. And I honestly felt like I had a new friend that I had known forever. We had a conversation well beyond card making, and she has just got some great stuff to share. And I just cannot wait for you to meet her. And a lot of you probably already follow her on Instagram. You may have seen her online a couple of times as well. But before I bring her on, I'm going to go ahead and just say hello to the couple of people we've got in our chat today. Again, it looks like numbers are growing, so welcome everyone. Go ahead, and if you're here tonight, just toss a hello so we know that you're here with us. And so let's see, we've got Rita with us. Welcome. Oh, we've got guest number 1. Hello, hello. How are you? Looks like we've got quite a few people arriving as well. This is exciting. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Again, just an idea that I had quite a while ago. Didn't know if this would, be something that people would be interested in. And I have gotten some amazing feedback from you. If you look at our YouTube channel, now don't do it right now. Oh, we've got, Amanda's here as well. Hi, Amanda. Don't do it right now, but later. I already announced the next 2 guests that I have, so I cannot wait. This is going to be a wonderful rest of August, and I'm in the process of already setting everybody up for September. So we're keeping moving forward, so I am so excited. So now we've got a lot of you that are watching, but not a lot of people said hi, so don't forget to say hi. This is completely live and totally interactive. So if you've got questions for my guest, if you've got questions for me, go ahead and comment. We would love to hear from you. Let's make this fun. Don't forget to ask stuff and comment as we go along. So without further ado, I am so excited to bring on my guest. Her name is Amy. And Amy, wait until you meet her. I just can't wait. This is exciting. All right, let's go ahead and bring her in. So I'm going to go ahead and add Amy. Let's bring you on. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Yay, I'm so happy that you said yes and you wanted to join me tonight.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. Like I told everybody, we literally had a 2-hour conversation, and it probably could have kept going.
Definitely, yeah.
We just were jabber. So, with that being said, because her and I can talk a lot, we want you guys to comment too. So don't forget to do that, all right? Oh, we got another person here, Pear Blossom Press.
Hi, Amanda.
Oh, that's another Amanda. So hello. I like her logo. That looks cute in the little icon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
hi, nice to meet you.
Yay. Yeah, so again, totally live. So what you guys add to this conversation, we'll show. So we're excited to have you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Amy, can you go ahead and just tell us, how did you get started? And I know I asked that question with everybody, but I think it's really important to kind of find out how everyone kind of got started on this path. So if you could tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Sure. I've always had an interest in art. My mom and my grandma were big influences on me. I went to art college. I had a photography business for 8 years, and I've kind of dabbled in pretty much every type of crafting you can imagine. I actually had a lot of components and tools and things for card making in my arsenal already, for jewelry making or various different things. I had a Cricut for doing vinyl work and things like that. And then my best friend came over for a craft night. We were still getting to know each other at that point. And she brought over a Misty, and I think it was like a Mama Elephant set with the stamps and the dies. And I was like, what is this sorcery? Like, what am I doing?
That's how I felt too when I first saw like the Brothers Scan and Cut do its thing. Right. And I'm like, wait, how did you get that little edge? I don't get this. So right. I totally feel that. Yep. So go ahead.
My husband would tease me, like, is there any department in the crafting stores that you don't already have in your craft emporium. And this was something that,
you have an emporium. That's
it's a little extra, but so I was kind of mystified by her Misty and her stamp set, and I just kind of watched her do her thing. I think I was playing with alcohol inks at the time. So again, that was another thing that's often used in card making, but I had it to make like signs and things like that. Mm-hmm. So in no short order, she introduced me to Jennifer McGuire videos and Christina Werner videos, and it was all over. And this was about 2 years ago. So I've only been making cards for 2 years, roughly.
But you have a craft background. So, I mean, I think that already kind of lent you kind of into that world.
Right.
You know, it was like your next evolution.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
It was definitely a smooth transition, but it got a little crazy, as I think it does for a lot of us.
Hi. We got Donna on here too. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Rita. Hi, everybody.
Well, I want to go ahead and share a couple of places, and I'm going to throw this up on the screen in just a second. So if you're looking to find Amy, again, wait till we're done with the show. I put all the links down below, but I'm just going to show them really quick so you have an idea of how to find her. She has her own website, so I'm just going to share that really quick. Let me just share. And on her page, she has all of her cards, which I love. And her work, I love the way that you do this. Like, I love your style.
Thank you.
You know, it's just, we talked about this lettuce one. Just want to make sure it's, okay, it did share. The lettuce one, I love this card. I think it is so adorable. And we talked about building like a...
They're ridiculous. Like,
he just needs a boombox. Like, I seriously want a 80s boombox on there.
Mm-hmm.
What would the lettuce be talking to? I don't know, but the lettuce would be, you know, no words.
Some say anything reference, right?
That's right.
If it's on a boombox, it's got to be.
You know, maybe it's got to be some kind of salad shaped kind of something. But anyway,
I'll leave that to you.
There you go.
I leave it in your hands.
No, I love your style, and this was one. I know the stencil. This is gorgeous. Like, I just love the way that you did the clouds with this one. Like, I think it's so beautiful and inspiring. And I know for me, I'm just starting with those inks, so I'm very much a novice, and so that's where I hope to get to. But I really love that one. I think it's gorgeous.
That's how you found me, right? Wasn't that the card that you...
It was the card, yeah. I mean, I had been following you already on Instagram, but when I saw that card, I'm like, nope, she needs to be a guest.
Oh.
Yes. Well, what's really nice about her website is that I know a lot of people use the tree links. And what I love is that you built your own links page. So you built your own hub. Mm-hmm. And so if you go and visit her website, she's got her blog, her Instagram, her Facebook. She does have an Etsy store, but she doesn't have a lot of stuff out there right now. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, about what she does do. And then obviously some of her favorite companies, and we'll talk about that stuff too. But if you're interested in finding out more about her website, it'll be down below, so you can go and visit it at any time. Let me just come back here. There we go. So I will put, let me just put that link down there for you too. There you go, guys. So that's her link. And again, it'll be down below, so you can always go and take a look at it. And even when this video is not live anymore, it'll still be available. So definitely go check it out. If you don't already, highly encourage, go and visit her on Instagram too. She posts beautiful cards up there. I showed you a quick little sample of what she's got, but go and follow her because she's constantly adding new stuff, and it's a great feed. It's very inspiring to me. Do you find yourself, you're welcome. Do you find yourself going out to Instagram and getting inspired by other people's cards?
I do, but I would say I watch a lot of YouTube. Just,
Yay.
Yeah, I love kind of like this, learning and getting a feel for the personality of the creators behind it. And that's kind of what roped me early on. And I'm just visual in that way. I like to see how they're doing it. And it's just... It
helps me too. You know, when I see somebody make the card, like there are times I'll watch a YouTube video and I'll watch it and then I'll pause. And then I'll watch it and I'll pause. And then I'll watch it and then I'll pause. Because it's the only way for me to kind of, get an understanding of how that whole process
Thank
works.
you.
Yeah. Look, we are getting love in the chat. Thank you.
Well, Chris, I don't have any YouTube videos myself, but Chris Dayton, I believe is her name. She's the one that she has awesome videos out on YouTube about that cloud edger stencil. So
the cloud stencil, my company's been in business for 15 years. And so I've seen kind of some of the things come back around again.
Mhm.
And I want to say about 10 years ago, there was a cloud stencil, and I cannot remember who made it, but it wasn't quite like this one. And now all of a sudden this one came along, and literally I think my feed was the cloud stencil for like a week straight.
Yep.
So
that's how I was. And I was like, I need this in my life. And so, yeah, it's gone viral. So I think now I've gotten to know Mary Kay a little bit, and so she's, I think, trying to keep up with orders on that. So yeah. But.
It's a great stencil. I don't have any stencils yet. I know.
Really?
I know. I
okay,
know.
We're having a craft night. Like
yes, you and I wanted to do that this week, and
stencils. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll draw you some art, and I'm working through. I'm trying to do one special thing for each of my guests, and so I'm kind of working on catching up there. But we will definitely do a card night where we can go and do that. And maybe you can teach me how to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So, do you remember the very first stamp set that you owned?
I don't, honestly, because it was probably 30 years ago. I have embossing powder and like a little embossing pen, legit from when I was probably about 10 years old. So
awesome.
I used to cook them over a toaster oven and try not to like burn the paper. But I did have some little stamps, and I did know how to emboss, but I didn't ever really make proper cards or anything like that. But I still have that stuff, believe it or not, and the stamps and everything. So when I did get into this, it was kind of funny to haul that out and like, well, I do know how to emboss, like heat emboss, because,
well, I'm going to tell you, the chat's going to totally be like, Jessica Lynn, come on, right? Yeah, I know I don't have any stencils, Claire. It's on. We talked about this earlier, Amy. I'm in baby step mode right now. I have to truly be, I'm going to learn a skill, and then I'll get better at it and move forward. I know I have to, and I also bought all the stuff to do embossing, but I've never tried it yet. So it's on my list too.
That's awesome.
I can tell you other people have said the same thing. Like, come on, Jessica, just go try. And I'm like, I'm just afraid to have too many things open on my desk that then I might not have a home for it to go back to.
No, you can do it. You can do it. But there is legitimate fear in leaving that container of embossing powder open, because I'm sure many of us have encountered that hot mess if you spill it. So.
Well, what is that? What is that thing? I think I said this a couple weeks ago, right? When you have glitter on your cards or any of the embossing powder, what does it get on? Pretty much everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
all time.
Look at this here. Guest craft night sounds awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Yeah, we talked about it. I've talked with my guests. So we're kind of working on something. So if you like this kind of format, just know that we are definitely working on something fun. And it'll be something that all of our people that come and join us and watch us will be able to join us too. So I don't want to say too much until it's ready yet, but I'm hoping to get a bunch of people to join us as well. Oh, and it looks like your friend Marianne is watching too and cheering you on.
Hey,
yay!
Yay! Rabbit hole.
They're all hello. We've got lots of love in the audience, so that is awesome. It's funny you talk about having stamps when you were kids, and it's one of those, like when I was younger, I always was like, well, how you were like hope that your parents will kind of encourage things and that maybe that'll spark an interest and it'll be what you end up doing.
Right.
And I remember we used to go to a craft store when I was a kid. And I used to always buy the big wood blocks. And so I have a whole bunch too, or the little ones where they had the little ink in them where they were circular. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like the plastic one.
Yeah.
And I had a whole bunch of those. And all of a sudden, like probably about a couple of years before I started my business, I actually found that bag. And I remember being so excited that I had found this. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I kind of did know what I wanted to do, but I just didn't know it, because I had such an interest in the stamps.
Yeah.
So I also used to go around stamping everything, not making cards,
Right.
but definitely, stamping everything up.
Right. Stamp all the things.
All right. So are you part of a design team?
I am.
I saw I'm giving you some love today.
Yeah. The Rabbit Hole Designs. That started because I'm obsessed with their stuff, and I started buying all the things. They have a whole caffeinated critters collection and all these like snarky, salty sentiments, and it's totally me. Like, we're huge coffee drinkers in this house. Most of the people we know are. So it was a perfect match, and I joined their fan page on Facebook, and I started posting my cards on there. And then they asked me if I wanted to be a featured fan for the month of March. And then from there, they asked me to join the design team, and I was elated. And I'm still so happy to work with them. They're just, Marianne and Heather, they're just so generous. And Nicole leads our team, and they're just, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've literally done nothing like this before. They've had to handhold me through the whole thing, basically. And so they've been very gracious and patient with me. So I appreciate them a lot.
Oh, so it wasn't a traditional way to get on a design team, but how fun is that? Just by doing what you love, they found you and sort of said, hey, you'd be a perfect match.
Right.
That's wonderful feedback for anybody who's starting out or just trying or thinking about joining. Produce a bunch of cards for the company that you're interested in and show them what you can do.
Right. Put yourself out there. I mean, that's what I tell. I have a lot of friends that have been making cards for years and years before me that I've kind of reconnected with on this crafty level, not just the regular friendship. My friend Linda, she's been giving us the most beautiful handmade cards for years. And every single year, she was my husband's former boss's wife, and she would make,
right, chart that down, right?
So she would make these full-on packs of tags, like Christmas tags, and give them as a gift every year. And it was just such an awesome, like, heartfelt idea. And every year we could expect all these new designs, new stamps, and all year long, every season, every holiday, I'd get cards from her. And so it's been cool to reconnect on that level and say, hey, teach me how you do this, or this is what I'm into, and kind of getting together and crafting. It's been really fun.
I love that. I love that that's her gift every year. Like, that's such a great gift.
Isn't that awesome? Like, she's just so thoughtful. Cool. Yeah.
Well, and I like to make my own Christmas tags as well, just because, by the time you do everything else, and I've got that entire white cabinet back there is all paper. I'm kind of a paper hoarder. And so I've got a lot of it. Every time I go to the store, I'm like, oh, look at this, more paper. My husband's like, okay, it's just pink. It's not red. I'm like, but that's pink. We didn't have it before.
But I don't have this shade of pink. Exactly. I don't have this shade of mauve. Now,
I don't have nearly as many inks to match, but I have a lot of paper. So I like to try and make a lot of Christmas tags and stuff like that. So, that's a great idea. And this is like the perfect time right now.
Right.
People are still in that weird lull as to what's going on, or kids going back to school, or people home, or what. This would be a great time. Laura just tossed up. You have so much talent. What an inspiration. That's so sweet.
Thank you, Laura. I miss you, friend. It's been like a year since I've seen her in person. It's horrible.
Oh, but she's right there. Look at her cute little picture and her little family.
Yeah.
Aw, I love that. Thank you all for joining us. This has been so much fun so far.
Hey, Lauren.
They're all starting to write now. So if you have questions for Amy, I have a bunch more for her, but please go ahead and toss them in. And for those of you that know me, or if you don't know me yet, I am not very subtle. So the ladies at, that stamp company that she just talked about with the design team might want to do an interview with you ladies too. Just throwing that out there. That's my challenge, right? I'm throwing it out there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not subtle. But
no names, Marianne and Heather. No.
None. None.
No.
Although I know them from other places and we've talked and other things. I just haven't formally asked them, although I just kind of threw it out there now.
Yeah.
Like fishing, right? Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. But I would love to. I love to, the whole goal of this was to go ahead and meet other card makers and creators and stamp companies and scrapbook artists. And this has been such a fun way to get to know people. And it's too much fun. So, you're only part of one design team. Are you thinking about trying out for other design teams?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I'm not on any official capacity, but I've been getting to know Mary Kay at A Colorful Life Designs. I've really been enjoying her stencils and working with her products. So honestly, I didn't expect any of it. So I'm just kind of flowing with things and just enjoying what I do and enjoying getting to know people in this industry. Everybody's so kind and supportive of one another. So it's been a really cool experience so far.
Well, and I think that's what I love about it too. You think, ooh, a bunch of card makers, maybe we're quieter people, kind of hide. Not at all. You get to know them. Everybody loves to share what they're making.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether your cards are here or there. They're all supportive of no matter what you do. Even though she joked and said, oh, no stencils. I'm sure if I said, could you show me how? I'm sure she would, and that's what I love, about this community is that everybody is so open to helping each other, and teaching each other. And so I just have an interesting question that I don't know if so you said a minute ago, you're not at your capacity. What would be a design team capacity for someone? What do you think? How much is too much? Like, how much time do you typically put in now? And then how would you kind of rate that? I just wonder, because for anybody who's watching, who's thinking, what if everybody asked me? What would I say? How many should someone take on?
I honestly don't, I don't know enough about I don't have enough experience to really answer that. I would just know that if I got to a point where I felt like I was, like I was getting stretched too thin, or that I couldn't give, all my energy to these people that I'm working with, then I would feel like that would be too much. I honestly, like I said, I've never worked with anybody other than Rabbit Hole, and they've been amazing. And I can't really answer that. I
actually think your answer was perfect, because people have to find that balance between family life. And I know that you have a family and a little girl, and we're going to talk about her in a minute and something really cool that you guys did. And trying to find, that passion for cards and not feeling too overwhelmed. Right. So I personally think people should start with one, get comfortable to the process. Some companies are going to be looking for a lot of stuff. Some companies might be like, if you just make a couple things, you know what I mean? So definitely find out more before you get started.
Right. And I think some of them have requirements too, where they don't want you to be on more than a certain amount of teams. So I guess it kind of also would depend on the company and their expectations and how many posts per month and things like that. So
you're getting some love here in the chat.
My team is so awesome. Everybody's so great. Like I said, just walking me through, because I don't think anybody was as green as I was.
Well, I think we all at one point were, right? I mean, I still feel like I am, and I can draw what you want, but card-wise, I still feel like I'm very green on that side. Yeah. So this fun person, I don't want to say too much, but if you go look at the list of people that are joining us, she's going to be with us at the end of the month.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. And no, we've had some great guests so far, and this has been just even more than I would have ever expected. And Tina is going to be with us. So, all right, let's see what else we got.
There's Rach.
Oh, did I miss it? Oh. Then we've got a hey, Amanda.
Rach.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. This is a super chat. So thank you so much. That means so much. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome. Wasn't expecting one of those. This is my first one, actually. So
I wasn't sure what that was. I was like, $5. Okay, what's that?
Oops. Sorry. Oh, started duplicating. No, but thank you so much. We appreciate that. That's awesome. The first one of those on here. Okay. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, there she is.
Aw.
Such a fun conversation. Such an inspiration. Oh,
that's her bestie.
Oh, look at her cute little kids.
Yeah. She has the Ginger Brigade. There's 4 of them. So her daughter right there is my daughter's best friend. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that. They're so cute. I love it when the people's pictures pop up because then you can kind of get to see who's with us tonight. So that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us too, Rachel. And Amanda, thank you so much for that super chat. Amanda said that she loves the series. So thank you, Amanda. We've got lots coming. And if anybody is interested in being a guest, let's go. Down below, there's a form you can fill out, and then I'll follow up with you. So I've got an interesting one for you. Before we get talking about your big project from this year. When you make your cards, what do you think that people should put inside them? Do you think people should put sentiments or not?
I guess it depends on how lazy they are or not. Oftentimes I'm too lazy to do it. Not that it's lazy, of course, but I don't know. I also kind of like to leave them blank, and then I can kind of have them at the ready to customize if I need to. I will say I have started trying to do it more often.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it kind of just depends. If it's one where I have a like the whole sassy sentiments where there's
where it fits perfect with it,
snarky options, and I have to narrow, then those are likely to have an additional piece of snark inside, just because there's too much to.
Well, it came with it. I mean, why not use it, right?
Right.
I mean, because why waste that, right?
Right.
So chat, if you guys want to put in there, do you put something inside your cards when you make them, or do you leave them blank? So if you just want to toss that in there while we continue on, I'd love to hear from you guys and just kind of see, what everyone does. For me, I usually leave them blank because I never know. Because my stamps are more, I have a lot of random dogs or a lot of Brentwood and stuff like that. I kind of don't know what I'm going to end up turning it into, unless the owl is dressed in like a hat or he's dressed in like a specific costume. Then I don't find myself, then I'll make something that matches, like a happy birthday or whatever. But for the most part, I leave them blank. So, down there in chat,
turn them into the note card and just, fill it with whatever you want to say to the person you're sending it to, So
very true. Very true.
That's for that.
We'll let them fill that out. And while we're doing that, I have got a wonderful story that I have to share with you guys. Ooh, actually, I take that back. Rita stopped us with a question. Do you decorate your envelopes?
With the exception of some washi tape, probably not. I do admire it a lot. Like Justin Averill, he does these amazing pattern paper inserts, and they're just such a nice compliment. But I love how they look, but I just haven't really gone there yet, other than just washi tape probably on the envelope.
For me, it just depends on who I'm sending it to. Yeah. My mom actually used to work for the post office a long time ago. And so she'd always give me make sure you leave this much space because it needs to go through, and be careful how bulky you make it because the machines will shred it. And so I was always so cautious as to how I package them. But sometimes I'll stamp some stuff, or I'll just doodle around it just to kind of make it like a preview or a cover of the book, and then you open it up and there it is. So sometimes I love
it when people do it. I just haven't really gone that far yet, I guess.
Okay, a couple people wrote us. So we've got some people, they do both. So sometimes they leave them blank. Sometimes they will add a sentiment. Ooh, she doesn't write. Look at that little face. I don't write any. Should I be? No. I think if it's a holiday card or a birthday card specifically, I don't think there's a problem with it. But let's see. I mostly leave them blank.
Yeah.
Again, leaving it open. Oh, here we go. Everybody's about 50-50.
Yeah.
I like to do it, but I don't always take the time.
Yeah.
Amen. When you've already spent how much time on the outside of the card.
Right.
Although then you could also say, I've already spent this much time on the outside. It might as well. Yeah. Right? I go glass half full. Right. Let's see. We've got, I leave them blank and then I write inside. Nice. That's what I do too. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I'm a left-hander, a lefty. So, yay! Woo! Look at us.
So fun. That's right. My husband. So we're both.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very creative. Then your daughter is probably very, very creative.
She's super creative, but she's right-handed.
What happened? No, I'm just kidding. It happens. No, well, And when I went to school, they didn't have scissors for left-handed kids. So
Right.
I had to learn how to write or cut with my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, so if you see me go like this every once in a while, it's because I mouse with my right hand.
Me
I
too.
cut with my right hand.
Cut with my I couldn't even do it if I tried. And I can't use a mouse with my left. I'm totally
I can't.
conditioned. All my dexterity, all my strength is the right side. Like other than writing, I'm useless on the left side.
Nice. We're twins. No. Yeah, because I'm the same way. It's so weird. And then because of that, I don't know if a different set of strength or muscles happened in that arm. So like I'll even like if we go bowling, I'll bowl with that hand. Or if I throw a ball, I throw with the right hand.
Me too.
Because it's what they taught you in school.
Yep.
So
yep. I feel
let's see. Sometimes. I was trying to read that with expression. Sometimes. No. That's nice. No. And that's, there's no right or wrong. And that's what I love about card making.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, so you put a sentiment in there, cool. Maybe you don't.
Or you do a blue lion. Who cares?
Exactly. Oh, we got one more here. They like to coordinate the inside with scraps left from the out. That's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Because
paper hoarders.
I have so many scraps that I just go, yeah. I haven't figured out the paper quilting. You know what I mean? Like it just ends up scraps of paper all over. So, and then my poor husband has to help me get them all off the floor usually by the time I'm done. So, oh, she says nothing goes to waste. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of card swaps back in the day, and so then I could do it a little easier. We'll talk about that soon too. But I want to get to something really cool that Amy did this year. So earlier this year, I'm going to share my screen one more time with you guys so you can see this. So she was on the news, Fox 17 in West Michigan, and her daughter made over 500 cards. And they sent, hey, that's a big number. That's a lot of cards. I have like 5 sitting on my desk, and I'm like, whew, 5, man, whew, okay. But no, she did over 500 cards with her. Look at her adorable daughter over there making her cards too. And they made these so that families who couldn't be together could get cards. Like, I think that is just so sweet. Let me just scroll down here a little bit. So a friend of hers, if you want to tell the story a little bit, that a friend of yours had come up with this idea, or how did that get started?
I don't remember how I realized she was doing this. I was already making cards for the wing of the assisted living facility that my mom was in before she passed. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of already thinking that because I knew that they couldn't have visitors and they were in lockdown. So somehow I had realized that my friend and realtor Sue Prinz had started this We Care cards, and it was for people in all the local hospitals, all the assisted living homes, basically everybody that was really suffering from loneliness, just from not being able to have visitors. So she started a collection at her business just for anyone. It could be store-bought, it could be handmade, kids. She encouraged everybody to make everything for any person that might be in the hospital, or you just kind of generalize it. Obviously you don't have names, but just encouraging cards. And she started a collection, and my daughter and I kind of jumped on board. And at the time of the news article, I think we were only around like 200, but we've since gone up to over 500, but
just 500,
it was such a blessing for us just to have something, because it was right in the beginning of lockdown and quarantine and a ton of uncertainty. So it was huge for me and for my soul to have something like that to hang on to, just to be like, okay, well, I can do something to help. So, and my daughter is ever the little crafter. So she jumped on board, and we just drop off at the building every couple days, a batch. And and then she'd bring them she coordinated everything in terms of the collections and whatever the process was between receiving them and making sure that they were safe at that point to get delivered to the hospital. And so it was awesome. I was super thankful that Sue did that, and it's actually still ongoing. So I know a lot of you don't have places to send your beautiful cards, well, this is an option for you. So
I'm going to go ahead and toss that down into the chat. Oh, it might toss. Oh, it tossed it once on YouTube and once on Facebook.
okay.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and toss that in there so you guys will see that in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to send them, you said they're still available to send. Now, what happens with the cards? Like, should they write inside of them, like messages to people, or are they cards so they can send them out? If you could tell us a little more about that.
Sure. What I did, and I know she doesn't need envelopes, and because it's going to hospitals and different facilities, where people could unfortunately be terminal, they don't really want it to be like a get well card kind of situation. And they also don't really want anything, unfortunately, religious, just because they don't want to have to siphon through them or potentially offend someone. So just basically encouragement. I'm thinking of you. You're not alone. It could be, I've done them with critters. I've done them with, anything you can think of. And I would just basically write inside, just, thinking of you, or
just a nice positive message.
Yeah, wishing you a beautiful day, or, you're not alone, or just anything like that. You can write as much or as little. And I would sign them with my name. I wouldn't have a name for the recipient. But yeah, you don't need to do an envelope. Encourage your kids. It can be...
That's a great idea. Like, that would be fun to print off like some digital stamps and maybe put those, just so it's really simplistic, easy for the kids to do. Mm-hmm. And then have the kids, like my daughter is just learning how to write full sentences. So that'd be really fun to have her write, something sweet and then sign her name, so that they see a child that cares as well.
Yeah. And I had Rylan, when she would sign them, I would have her write, she was 9 at the time. I would have her write age 9 so that they knew, like, this was made by a little one, and it was, that would be special to me to get something from a little kid. So,
well, and my husband used to, we talked about this. My husband used to work at hospice at one point, and we've done a little of that, but I love this idea. And I love the fact that I know last night we talked and we weren't sure, and I'm super excited to know that she's still doing this. So if any of you guys watching tonight are interested in doing that, you don't have to worry about contacting us or anything. You can go right to that mailing address that I put in the chat, and I will update the YouTube listing. So I'll have that address in there as well. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, if you guys, or even if you already have a bunch of cards, right, that you weren't sure what to do with them, and they're beautiful, and, they're just collecting dust. I mean, I promise you, if you sent them off to, a senior who is lonely and missing their family, and unfortunately they're still on lockdown where they can't have visitors. Right. I don't think. Right? Well, they still are. Some places are open, or
I was able to go see my grandma, but we had to schedule it. It was a half an hour block of time outside with masks at a distance for 30 minutes. And that was
We've already talked longer than that.
Right. So I was able to get in and see my grandma, but the people that were in the home where my mom was, I'm not family with them. So I don't know that if I would be able to get in to see them and visit like we had done, because there's one sweet lady there that is from Cuba that my daughter communicates with in Spanish. And I would love to get back to see her, but because I'm not family, I don't know if I'd be able to do that or not. So
gotcha. Well, but I mean, what a wonderful opportunity to be able to just make somebody's day, So if you've got some extra cards and you feel compelled, please, by all means, go ahead and send these off. And, I promise you that the person who is the recipient is going to love it. And she's someone so you feel that that they're going to get where they're going.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, she's been doing this for months. So there's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people she was like systematically getting like every hospital in the area, every nursing home. She would let me know, like, okay, now there's one point, we have a pretty big children's hospital where she had done DeVos Children's Hospital. And I kind of knew that. So I was like, okay, more critter based and whatever. But honestly, they will all find a good home, whatever you want to contribute. It's for a great cause. So
I love that. And I love the fact that you had over 500 cards. Are you still currently donating as well?
I actually kind of took a little bit of a break, but now that I realize she's still doing it, I just talked to Rylan, like, we got to get back on that, because I want to batch a bunch of those cloud cards, because I feel like those would be
It's
really,
a wonderful inspiration, put some of those quotes we talked about yesterday,
right.
and I
Right.
love that. I love that. That would be, the clouds are gorgeous. And I know you said that you love to batch cards. So
Yeah.
for those of you that maybe aren't doing a whole lot of cards, could you tell me a little bit about your process maybe with how you batch?
I kind of do different components and stock up. So if I feel like coloring,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a bunch of critters or whatever stamped out already, from when I get them, or I'll stamp them, and then I'll, while I'm watching Netflix with my husband or something, I'll color them in if I feel like coloring, and I'll fussy cut them out, which I know, boo hiss, but I love fussy cutting. Like, y'all can send it all to me. I'll cut them out, because
Y'all, I like they got a little southern there.
it's so therapeutic for me. I know there's something very wrong with me, but I really do enjoy it. So I fussy cut them out, and then I'll show you.
There's nothing wrong with loving to fussy cut. Everybody has their own thing,
This is so this is all like critters that are colored and stamped.
So you stamp a whole bunch so that when you feel compelled to make the card, you just have them already ready to go?
Yeah, I'll have I have this whole folder of critters. And then if I'm in the mood to make backgrounds, watching my little Jennifer McGuire techniques that I have to try, I'll make a whole box of this is all just like backgrounds with different stencils that are ink blended, so then sometimes I'll be like, oh, okay, well, this would be cool with this. And then if I'm in the mood to put cards together, then I'll just kind of bring all the pieces and then just sit and spend a few hours just batching like a ton of cards with the components that I already have made. Or if
I love that idea.
Yeah. Or if I'm not feeling particularly inspired, I'll just cut and make card bases or card panels. Again, while I'm watching TV or something. And then I'll just so I basically have not always, because I do some custom stuff, but I'll have different pieces ready to go, for whatever I'm in the mood to do at that moment.
I love the idea. And when we talked a little bit, you said, I want to tell you about my batch idea. And I'm like, do you do like 5 or 6 at a time? I didn't realize that you have a whole binder of all of your stamped images colored. And then I didn't realize that you made like a whole
problem. It's not all, it's some.
Oh, but you know what I mean. But
all the stamps.
But I love that. Because for me, because I'm still learning how to do the fun shoe polish ink.
Oh, I don't know this. What's this all about?
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, shoe polishing. Yes.
Yeah. So, because I'm learning this, I find myself getting stressed out by it, because I'm like, I want them to look perfect. But if I focused on making a bunch of backgrounds and playing around and really getting to learn the technique,
right,
then I could come back. I love that. See, now,
especially with the oxides, because they're water reactive, so you can literally, there's so many different things you can do. It's crazy.
We need to have a craft night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Laura just tossed up there that, Amy, you are a role model. I love how you lead others and how much you care. And there's her cute little family again.
Yeah. Well,
I love that. Yeah. What else we got? Such a great thing you and your daughter are doing. Thank you for posting the address. Yes, your cloud cards are gorgeous.
Thank you, Lauren. She's on my design team too.
That's awesome, though. And Lauren, you know what? If you want to be on the show, sign up down below. And you don't even have to. You know what? I'll just find you and I'll send you an email. What I do. I love doing that stuff. It's fun to get to know all of you. And let's see. We've got some great ideas. Let's see. We got that's awesome. See that? I love that. I mean, and agreed. Jennifer, look at her picture. So cute.
Yeah. I loved it.
You can hear her.
Yeah.
You can hear her in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
And she loves how you store your images. It's awesome. Yeah, I do too. It reminds me of like the baseball cards. Is that what it is? It looks like a baseball card holder.
I think that's actually what they are. Yeah. I think that's exactly what the things are.
That's awesome. That's such a good idea. I mean, grain of salt, right? I just had a bucket. So I started like doing that because I was like, oh, I'll try it. And I did have some that I did, but then the bucket just kept getting full and then I didn't want to dig through it. So I love that idea too. I think that's a
you
great.
can kind of have them in, like, I'll have like, like make believe critters like dragons and all that stuff, and just have them relatively separated. But again, I buy so many stamps.
Me too. Even though I own a company, I still buy a ton of stamps too.
So you with paper is me with stamps.
Nice.
And stencils. Stencils are, I love them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got to hi to Jennifer. Donna's throwing out some love to Jennifer. That is awesome. I love it. So you said a minute ago that we had talked a little bit ago about how you had an Etsy store. Mm-hmm. But your Etsy store is not like all Etsy. You sell a bunch of other items as well.
Right.
But do you offer like custom work? Like if somebody said, I really love her style, I want 10 Christmas tags or something, or some birthday cards. Do you offer anything like that? Or
absolutely. Yep. That's kind of a lot of, I don't have a whole lot on Etsy. A lot of people that just kind of know I craft stuff around me locally some of them will come shop out of my craft room, or they'll contact me with a request and then I can mail it to them. But it's usually just some random instance of, hey, I can't really make this myself. Can you do it? So
it's nice.
Either I can or I can't, and go from there. So
yeah. So this is a weird one, but I always wanted to ask this, and I think I'm going to start asking this more. When you're making cards, can you tell me what was the longest amount of time you've ever spent on one card?
I can tell you because I just made it.
Okay.
Well,
it was that really fun Pitbull one you made? No, I'm just kidding.
That was super fun. That was amazing. Yep. Petey's getting that one. He doesn't know it yet, but that's his dog. I colored that like his dog Mundo. So, no, I don't know how long it took me. It took me at least a couple hours, if not more, which for me, that's a lot. But it was a custom card for a friend whose grandma-in-law was turning 100.
Wow.
And they,
we should all be so lucky, right?
Right. And the gift was, the card. So she was like, she's fancy. She likes things that look rich. She's like, I trust you. So I was so extra with this card. I've never done anything like that, but she loved it. And I would say that's definitely I couldn't even really take pictures to do it justice because I had some like reflective gold cardstock that was just, it didn't photograph well. But Rach saw it. Rach can vouch for it. It was it was crazy. So I would say that was probably the longest and most labor intensive that I've ever done. But
what a wonderful, what a good reason to spend that.
Right. Because she's like, yeah, it will be the gift and it will likely be on the mantle for half the year and passed around and whatever. I'm like, I'm down. Like,
it's awesome.
I'll do it. So.
Well, and the fact that I'm sure she loved it when she opened it because, I think a lot of people are starting to understand and appreciate handmade things again. I think we went through a phase where everybody just liked quick, cheap, whatever.
Right.
And now I'm starting to feel like there's a trend coming back where people are loving, oh, you knit me this thing. Oh, I love that. You made me a scarf. As silly as, knitters might say, oh my gosh, a scarf. Right. Mm-hmm. But to people like me, I the only thing I can do is crochet that chain hook. That's it. That's all I can do.
That's all I can do too.
I'm like, I couldn't get, like, my mom can do the weird popcorn thing and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Mine's a chain. But, I've noticed that people are really starting to value that again, and it's so nice to see.
I've seen that trend. And then especially in times like this and when everybody's separated and are struggling to stay connected, it's just another avenue to kind of reach out and be there for the people we care about, so.
Well, and I know you and I talked a little bit, I think right now the most important thing is just making sure that we take care of each other, and remember that everybody's on a level playing field. Yeah. We're all struggling in our own ways, but in the same way, just in our own way, and, if you're a card maker, send a card to somebody you love tomorrow. and surprise them. It doesn't have to be of like a birthday, a Christmas. Just send a, like we talked about donating cards to, a charity or to a group that's collecting them for seniors. I mean, if there's somebody you haven't talked to since all this started and you make cards, send them one. Or if you don't make them, contact Amy and she'll make you one. Or you can go check out her website or, and she'll get you a card. But, I think stuff like that would be such a great surprise.
I know how happy I am when I get the cards. Like it will make my whole day. So that it further solidifies it to me. Like, I know how much I like getting them. So if I can give someone a smile on a otherwise rotten day for just a minute, then that was worth it for me. So
I agree. Well, and like with my kids, since we've been home, I've tried to encourage them to send letters to their grandparents. And even if it's just,
you froze up. I don't know what happened. Awkward. Well, I'm going to look at the comments if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me while she's figuring things out? Comment somebody if you can hear me. Okay, well, I'm going to catch up on comments until she comes back because I am not the tech person here. So interesting stuff gaming. That's Lauren, right? From my design team. I don't recognize some of these sign-on names. This is so awkward, guys. Like, hi, that's Stu Alive, and I'm here by myself. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to check on Facebook Messenger. Oh, she's on her way back. Good. Reading through the comments. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. My internet just went. Oh my goodness.
Let's do live, Jess says. It'll be great, Jess says.
You know what, though? That's what makes us all real, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, here's me. Right? Wait. Here, where is it? I'm on my way back. I promise.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
I was waiting for you to do like a little tap number.
Right.
Like right in the middle.
I'm going to go to the comments. I'm going to try to make it more awkward than it is because
oh my goodness.
Doing.
I am so sorry. Apparently at 8:53 here in Wisconsin, everybody plugged into their internet at the same time and everything just went came right back. Yeah. All right. Good times.
Thank you for staying with me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
awkward.
You know what, Amy, thanks for holding down the fort while I took a moment to
leave you here live. Yeah.
You did great. Yeah, no, again, I am so sorry. It literally, like, as soon as it went there, I saw myself because I have another screen over there where I can see it. And all of a sudden I was like, and I'm like, oh no, that's the way I paused. Really?
Hilarious.
That is awesome. Awesome. Well, you know what? It makes us real. It's just like card making, right? You never know what you're going to get. Some days it's great. Some days it's not.
Right.
So let's go ahead and keep moving forward. And how fun is that? And all you guys were with us and all kinds of fun. Uh-oh. Anthony is hacked. I don't know who that is. Oh. That's funny. Okay. Uh-oh. She's got a couple cards to share.
Okay. I see now. Oh, nice. Yes. Send them. I watched your video where you weren't sure where to send them. That would be amazing. They would love it.
Now we have a place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I checked out your stuff. It's awesome.
Well, let's go ahead and keep moving forward. I apologize. Looks like everything is back. I show full bars, so we should be fine again. But that was kind of a fun, everyone sort of got a moment there to take a breath and, and you held down the fort well. So, if someone was interested in getting a custom card from you, would they just email you out on your website, or where would be the best place for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can email me right on the website or message me on Instagram or whatever. So
perfect. Yeah, I figured that was the last question I was going to ask of that part of it. Then all of a sudden I just was like, right. So, so what would you call your card making style?
I would say probably more clean and simple. I like a lot of white space. I adore the cards where everybody builds the scenes, but I don't have the patience to do it myself. So that's where I'll kind of usually put like a random stencil background, faded out with ink blending and a focal point. So I try all different techniques. I'm still kind of figuring things out. Like I said, I've only been making cards a couple years. So, but I would say at this point that's kind of probably the best way to describe my style. It's like clean and simple.
Well, here, I'll just share with you guys so you can see this. So there you can see one of her styles. It's so cute. I love this. I love the brick stencil. And I love that it's not the full card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that. I love that it's just like a small kind of circle version of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the white space. So.
Oh, look at this one. Yes, she did. She did. Yep, she wrote inside.
Those are radical sentiments. They're just the puns. They're the best.
They're so cute. And she does have this one up on Etsy. So if someone is interested, those are up on Etsy now.
Huh.
Did you like that? That was like a small ad there, too.
Well plug in there. Yeah. Work that in.
Agreed, Jennifer. They are adorable. That was really fun, though. That was a fun intermission there. I really haven't had that one yet,
Right.
So we talked at the beginning about how you get your inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You said you go on Instagram and you'll do like markdown cards that you want to try and recreate, or do you go on Pinterest and do any of that? Or how do you find your inspiration?
I'm still getting familiar with Instagram. I'm trying to learn more about it. So I wouldn't say that that's probably the first mode. Like I said, I like to watch the YouTube videos. Occasionally Pinterest, I guess. But
so do you like mark to watch videos later and then go back and try to recreate those, or?
I wouldn't say so. I would say it's more just the
techniques.
Yeah, the techniques that I'll pick up in my head on different ways to use the different products, and then it's not usually something I do right then and there. I think a lot of times I'll find a stamp set that I have to have, which is all the time, and then I don't know, I may, while I'm antsy and waiting for it to come, might start looking at the way people have used them, just to kind of get ideas because I'm excited. And then a lot of times, to be honest, I still don't even get to them right away. I guess it just kind of depends. I would say I look around all different areas,
different social media platforms,
different sources, but I don't know that I go right to one idea and then try that necessarily as it relates to a stamp set. Like if it's a technique, then that might be something like, I want to try that technique. I
like that idea though. I mean, because it goes really well with the way that you design cards, because you said you make a whole bunch of backgrounds and then a whole bunch of stamp images. So, I mean, that goes hand in hand in what you're already talking about. So I can definitely see why you would be more interested in the technique part than trying to recreate a card. Because I think some people get so caught up in, well, I want to make that card rather than, well, why don't you figure out a technique in the colors you like rather than just trying to 100% create. Don't get me wrong. There are some cards that I've tried to recreate too, but yeah. So we're getting close here. Believe it or not, we are at an hour, but I'm going to take out about 2 minutes because of my little internet fun, right? But it's live, so never know what you're going to get, but you did awesome.
Thanks.
Do you have some favorite stamp companies? Now, I know we talked about, you're on a design team, and do you have some favorite like stamp companies that are your favorites, or maybe designs that are your favorites?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rabbit Hole. I started working with them because I bought so many of their things. They're definitely one of my favorites. I've recently kind of started collecting like Heffy Doodle. I really like that style. Obviously, I didn't know of you until you reached out, and now I love your stuff. I love your art.
Well, last night you said something that really meant a lot to me, and I kind of talked about it with my husband pretty much all day. Yeah, it was just so sweet. Last night she kind of had said, well, as the artist and owner, there's just a different feel because what did you say? How did you say it? Now I can't think now that
when I said
it was like true art, proper art. That's what it was.
Yeah, because we were talking about the stippling and how you build that into the design, which I love that, especially for people that are just learning how to color. Like you said, you kind of build in the areas to help them learn where the shading will go, whether that's using like cross hatching or stippling. And so I said that it was proper art, like proper drawings. Well, it is. I mean, look at that.
It was so sweet.
That I mean, I'm like, that's it. It was beautiful. So, and my daughter was like, "Whoa, she draws that!" So she was really impressed too. So,
but I think that's what's fun is that every company has a different style.
Right.
And that's the fun of it. And then it's fun that I like to do a lot of mixing and matching. So like I've had fun where before I've used, like Brentwood where he was dressed like a lobster down under the water. And then I'll use some lawn fawn mermaids with, all kinds of other things and mix and match them all over. And I think there was my favorite things. Is that right? No.
Yes.
They had a mermaid one too. I think I had that too. But there were 3 of them that I mixed. And it was like, I just love mixing like all of them together.
Right. My computer is currently on top of 4 different My Favorite Thing boxes.
So, that you haven't opened yet, or?
No, just from order because I have a problem. And I love their stuff. So I'm constantly ordering from them. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah.
Have you ever tried digital stamps before?
I haven't. And I've been really curious about that because of the type of ink that I have on my computer. Maybe you guys can teach me your ways, because I don't know like how that ink works with Copic. Like, is it Copic friendly? Does it blend?
Some are. It depends. It depends on what kind of ink it is. Like if it's toner, like an actual toner, like a laser jet kind of printer, then you're probably better off. If it's more like ink, like in an HP kind of just toner, like little cartridges, which is just really more like ink.
Like inkjet?
Sometimes those don't. Yeah, like a little inkjet printer.
Yeah, Amanda's a sucker for MFT too. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
They're getting all my money.
With a pear flavored jelly bean too. Oh, look at her. Look at the little smile. So happy.
Pear's my favorite. That's my favorite one. Yeah, they send me like one little individually wrapped Jelly Belly. And I don't think I realized it for the longest time. And I'd find it somewhere in my craft room. I'm like, what is this like individually wrapped Jelly Belly? Like, where is this from? It took me probably 10 orders to figure out that. As I'm, excitedly ripping it open, evidently I'm shooting little Jelly Bellies all
random Jelly Bellies all over the place. We've got a Jelly Belly factory in Wisconsin that's not too far from us. So
that's more sorcery there. That's
what?
Like, it's sorcery. How do they make it taste like that stuff? I don't understand.
Exactly. Well, and they have like, if you go on the tour at the end, you can taste them all, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, we've spent way too much time." When we took the kids there, it was way too much time. They wanted to try everything.
Yeah.
So we've had some. Let's see. Jennifer says she's had trouble with, or good luck with the Epson tank printer.
Is that an inkjet or is that a laser? Because does that make a difference?
It has for me. I find mine with the toner. It depends. I have an old Oki, So we always joke, like in IT world, it's an okie dokie. It's not great. It's an okie dokie. And
Like
it does
You
okay.
do the ID 110. Is that what it is? ID 110.
Something like it's okay. It's an okay printer.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when we've done digitals, because we do a lot of digitals for my company, I encourage just go and send them off to Kinko's or one of the places that can print them. Tell them what kind of cardstock you want it, and then it'll work really good.
Okay.
Oh, we got some more here. I use a laser printer. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I've legit never done a digital stamp yet. I have.
Well,
yeah.
I got a couple that I can give you that you can go and try. So then you can say that you've tried them.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so apparently laser printers seem to be the way to go.
What paper?
Oh, here we got one.
No, because I know 110-pound Nina does not go through my printer well. Do you do it on 80, or what weight do you guys print it on?
It's over there. I'd have to go look. Mine's not 110. It's less than that. It's oh goodness, do I have it sitting there? Hold on. Let me see. Now this is not my computer freezing or me leaving. I'm just rolling over. It's equivalent to this paper stock. I don't know. I got it from the Paper Studio.
Okay. Jen says 65 to 80.
Yeah, it's probably about that goes through. So, yeah, I'm just looking to see if I've got another sample. I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. But yeah, that works pretty well for, there it is. Yeah, she put it up there. There's some weight.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Way to go, Jennifer. Yay.
Thank you. Oh, Nina 80. Canson 140. Oh, you print on watercolor paper too? And that goes through your printer?
Wow.
I'm impressed.
I am too.
I don't think mine would handle that well.
My poor little okie dokie. I don't know. I don't think it would handle that very well.
Right. I'm not sure mine would either.
Nice. Oh, she said even 140. Wow,
Yeah,
what kind of printer is she? Oh, you know what though? She's using the laser printer.
Okay.
So maybe that's got a little more power than my okie dokie.
Yeah.
Or maybe she can put it in that little side tray. Maybe that has to do. Nice. She said, go ahead and ask me. So, a lot of guesses.
Staples makes 100-pound bright white. Huh.
Well, there we go. See, this has been a very, it's an informative night.
Right.
See, that's what I love about this is that even though they're not in the hot seat like you were, I'm just kidding, just for those 2 moments, but even though they're not in the hot seat, I love it because this is what I love about this community. We can kind of throw stuff out. They have ideas. They share it with us.
Right.
Looks like hers. Let's see. Oh, she's answering some other questions too. So do you guys have, I have one more question that I have for Amy. And just like we talked about yesterday, we're already over our time. So it went quick. But does anybody have any questions for her? Because I want to make sure that if you guys have questions for her, that we get those answered. And because I have one more question, but I don't want to ask her because that's my last one that I ask everybody. So if anybody has any quick questions that you want to ask, let's go ahead and get those in.
Let me show this. My daughter.
What do you got?
My daughter knew I was nervous, and she put this little, you can do this drawing on my seat.
She even made it with rainbow hair.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You should laminate that and keep it forever.
Mm-hmm. I'm lucky. Very supportive family I have. So
I love that. Do you have a laminator?
I do.
Honestly, when I was a kid, it was one of the tools I always wanted.
Right.
And then Amazon offered their Amazon version. And I think I paid $20 for it. And 100 sheets were 10. And the first day I had it, I think I laminated everything in my studio. It was crazy. I was like, oh, look at this, laminate. And my husband's like, stop. I'm like, yeah, but I always wanted one of these, when I was a kid, it was so fun to play Office. Come on.
Right.
How can you not? It's awesome. It's awesome. All right. I'm just looking to see if we have any other questions. We had a whole lot of people here tonight, and this has been so much fun. And I love these nights. I don't want them to end. And I'll be really honest, almost every night after we get done, I end up talking to my guests for probably another half an hour or 45 minutes or more, just because all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, what about this and this and this? And this was fun. I really enjoy this. I love this. I love this whole, fun way to get to know you guys, because I can see your cards all the time on my Instagram feed, but I never know who is making them. And it's so much fun to finally put a name, a face, a personality, behind all of that. Mm-hmm. I think it just makes it more real, Right. And I love that. Oh, lovely. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of questions. I know that we covered a lot of topics tonight, so we probably already answered everybody's questions, right?
Right.
So before I ask you my last question, I always try. Oh gosh, I had everything all organized, and so every week we're giving away a stamp set. So I just want to show you guys this week's stamp set that we're going to give away, and then I'll ask you the last question. Okay, so I'll let you give final thoughts in 1 sec.
Thank you, Jen.
So you see my curtains behind me. If you've ever looked at the packaging for my company, see if I can show you. Do you see the little gray stripes?
Uh-huh.
Like, I literally was like, I want it to feel like my studio.
Aw,
that's why there's the little stripies in there. So if everybody was like, why are there stripes in your design? It's because it reminds me of my wall of curtains that hides all my stamps. It's kind of like a Wizard of Oz moment.
Studio.
My studio. Sorry. I'm going to write that on a Post-it right in front of me. So that every time I'm my studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like my Wizard of Oz moment, pay no attention, but the man behind the curtain that makes all the magic happen.
Is your husband back there? Because that'd be awkward.
No, he's not. That would be really awkward. One time I should have him be back there and just pop out. That would be so scary. It can't be any worse than my connection going down, right? I mean, who knows? That's awesome. Okay, so everyone who hung out with us today is already entered to win. And so what the stamp set is this week is it's our adorable little ferrets.
So cute.
So you can see that one's hanging out in a little crinkle bag. And then there's another little ferret. We used to have ferrets a long time ago. And so what I did was with this guy right here. Oh, let me go this way. This guy right here. You can actually put the little bandana on him. If you do that, you can put the little robber mask and the little money bags. And then there's also little bug antennas that fit perfectly on him.
Aww.
If you've ever had ferrets before, and I only made the card or the stamp set because I never see a lot of ferret stamps, and they were the best little critters.
Yeah.
They were the best little critters ever. We loved them. I mean, they would literally steal everything. And then we had this little mound of things like under our bed, or we would find a little mound of like my ferrets. Well, this will tell you a whole lot about me right here. So my ferrets' names were Jessie and Chester. Mm-hmm. And so we were constantly like, dude, where's my ferrets? Right? Because like, dude, where's my car? So they were Jessie and Chester.
Oh, nice.
And they were just the coolest little critters. Mm-hmm. And one was the runt. So she was maybe 1.5 pounds. And the other one was like 4.5 pounds. And it was just like such a yin and yang, and they would play and wrestle, and they were so much fun. Like I love them. So
I love how they steal things, like pretty shiny things.
Our little one, Jessie, would always do that. Like we'd find her and be like, "What are you doing?" And she'd give you this look like nothing, and then she'd take off. And I'm like, it was a predecessor, I guess, to kids, right?
Right. Training.
So, but yeah, training. But they were fun, but they were good little critters. So this is one of the stamps that we have up on our website. So anybody that's been here with us today is already entered to win. And then if you comment down below, you can get a second entry. And then what I will do is next week on the show, I will announce the winner for that stamp set. So yay. Oh, we got some cute ferret love. So cute.
Yeah, I've never seen a stamp set. That's adorable.
Oh, I had one. My Minky was, I know. We used to call them our tiny weasels because they would just like, But it was before we had kids, before we had dogs, cats. Right. And they really were kind of like a weird cat dog kind of thing. Like it was a weird, but they were fun. They were really fun. And the only downfall is it's really hard to find a vet for them. Yeah. Ferret vets are hard to find. So, and there you go. That was Ferret Talk as well here behind the card. So to go ahead and close out for tonight, Amy, what I want to know from you is something very important. Where do you see yourself going with card making? What are you hoping to do next? What are your plans, and where do you see yourself going?
I would love to get on maybe a second design team somewhere or a guest design. Like I said, I love Heavy Doodle and Hero Arts, and there's just so many awesome. Yeah, I think that's a given, right?
There you go. Right. I'm not, I told you I'm not subtle.
Right.
So.
Not mad at you. I'm not either. So, yeah, I mean, it's truly been such a whirlwind. I didn't expect any of it thus far, so I don't really know what to expect. I don't really have expectations or plans. I'm thankful for Rabbit Hole taking a chance on me because I know nothing. But yeah, they've been great, and I love working with them. I'm planning on continuing to work with them until they boot me. So, yeah. So, yeah, I honestly don't know. I just I love this group of people. It's awesome. So,
And the goal is to just keep making cards, keep getting better, kind of figuring out what is. I mean, I believe everything happens for a reason. I think you meet the people you meet for a reason. And no doubt, I mean, your work is already in 2 years. I mean, you're getting huge amounts of likes and pins. And look at this here. Jennifer says, you inspire. So, I mean, lots of love.
You should check out your stuff, man. Amanda, all these guys on my team, like they're all, it's mind blowing. Like the stuff they come up with.
I think I follow most of them too.
Yeah.
I just went through and went, okay, I'm going to just try and find a couple first people, and then it's just been rolling, as it goes. But Jennifer, I'd love to have you on too. This is so much fun. It's a fun way to get to kind of know everybody. And I absolutely just have to just say one thing before we go. I love that picture of your mom in the background. I think it is so beautiful. And I love the fact that she was kind of watching over your shoulder all day today.
Yeah.
Like that kind of just, the heart a little bit, Yeah. So I love that.
Thank you.
So if you would stay on the line, don't leave. Don't do what I did. Don't disconnect your internet.
Right.
Stay on. I'm going to go ahead and take you off screen. I'm going to thank everybody. And then you and I will just kind of wrap up before we go.
If I missed anybody or didn't see your comments, I apologize. I'm so thankful you joined us today and showed your support. I'm so happy to have you with me. So thank you, all of you guys. So, and thank you, Jess, for this. I mean, again, another unexpected part of the whirlwind. So.
Agreed. And now I feel, honestly, even after 2 days of hanging out with you now, I feel like I have another new friend that we used to write on Instagram here and there a little bit, but now it's like, no, I'll be writing you more often.
Yep, definitely.
We'll definitely go and take a look at her website. Amy, hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and thank everybody, and then we'll talk back in just a sec, okay?
Thanks, guys.
Well, guys, I just wanted to say thank you for yet another really fun night, an amazing guest. And again, who knows? Internet is so much, you never know what you're going to get, right? But thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I absolutely love our Saturday nights together. I have guests all the way through, actually almost to October now. There is one weekend coming up where I will be traveling. So I may be interviewing my guest from a interesting location. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, right? Hopefully better than, well, tonight wasn't bad, just that 2 seconds of internet. But I just wanted to say thank you guys again. It means so much to me that you care, that you tune in, that you're part of this fun adventure with me. And one more here. Thanks for an instructive and fun chat, Jess and Amy. Of course, we love it. We love it. This is just, it's too much fun. It's too much fun. And what a great community. And again, down below, if you want to be a guest, please go ahead and sign up. I would love to talk with you as well. And don't forget to, thanks for hosting. Yay. It's too much fun. I love it. Don't forget, though, go and check out her website. Follow her on Instagram. Share this out. I love being able to do this. And currently, I am looking for some stamp companies that want to go ahead and interview with me as well as card makers and scrapbook artists. So don't forget to join me. Again, guys, thank you again. My name is Jessica Lynn Mold, and I am the owner, artist, and creative mind behind Jessica Lynn Original and this fun YouTube show called Behind the Card. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you again, guys. Take care. Yay, thank you. I'm just trying to get everybody's, yay. It's like our little credits, like our goodbye credits, right? All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.